watching The Incredible Hulk. So fucking unnecessary, bro. Let me redo that. So, this is going to be my experience with The Incredible Hulk. I'm going to share my stream now because of that. Alright. Just share. Alright. Just shared it on Discord. So, before I start this one, actually, and I know that car crash, that car alarm shit went off, so it kind of ruined things. I want to talk about the Iron Man video. So currently, my experience with Iron Man is blocked worldwide. We're going through another issue like that again. I am currently trimming out segments that will not be mentioned in that video just for it to stay up. So right now, that video is going into work right now in terms of copyright issues. So for now, I'm not going to show any footage. I'm just going to talk about it, and you guys are just going to have to picture all the moments from Incredible Hulk, and whatnot, so I don't get in trouble. Because apparently, a movie from all that time ago doesn't matter, still falls under copyright, and I'm just like, okay, man, whatever. That's dumb. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, when I showed a lot of Iron Man footage from Iron Man 1 and 2, and funny thing is, Nick, I got visually blocked for Iron Man 1, and then I got full-on worldwide blocked because of Iron Man 2. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, okay. So I gotta find a workaround and cut a lot of that video out, apparently. I gotta cut, like, minutes of that out at a time. Bright Nick, welcome, and Vitsky MHD, welcome. Anyways, the first, 2 or 3 minutes of The Incredible Hulk is shots of events leading up to, basically leading up to how this movie starts. And I kind of like that because in comparison to a lot of other movies, we would get 10, 15, 20 minutes of the movie being of the character's origin story and where they start from, and then they just start a little bit after that. I notice a lot of Marvel movies do that. Basically, for their first movies anyway, they always start out with their backstories, and we're basically living in that moment with those characters throughout, the entire flick, right? Incredible Hulk liked to do something different, so while, the movie started after the Marvel shit, Starzar, hey, how you doing? Welcome. As the movie's starting and after the Marvel shit, you get shots of the gamma radiation scene going wrong. Not full-on scenes, but it's shot by shot of how Bruce became the Incredible Hulk and stuff, and his first accident, ever and stuff and whatnot, and, I thought it was actually really cool. Me and Nick actually really thought it was cool. Speaking of which, shoutouts to my boy Nick, because we watched, 2 fucking movies last night. We watched Thor 1 and Avengers Endgame. I'm gonna make sure Nick's here for that one. I'm gonna not make sure because he's got work and shit all the time. Not today, but you get my point. I just want to get this one out of the way and shit, so we could maybe I can get Nick on for Thor 1. I still haven't made the thumbnail for that one yet. Something is in my fucking mouth. That. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Okay, don't worry about that. I don't know what the hell that was in my mouth. Number 2, Bruce training to control himself. Basically, in the area that Bruce is in, he basically takes classes on learning how to control his anger. And I really like this side of Bruce. I broke my joystick off my main controller spinning Final Bowser, but I had a backup and more precise controller, and that is the controller I beat him with. Hey, that's what's up, Aaron. Yeah, N64 controllers, when you want to spin them or do anything like that, is a little extreme. That's why I always hated Super Mario 64, is always the Bowser fights. The Bowser fights would ruin it a lot for me growing up. But, anyways, back to what I was saying about Bruce, learning how to control himself as Hulk. I really like that because in other adaptations of the Incredible Hulk, aka Hulk, like Hulk in the past, because you guys remember before 2008 there were tons of Hulk movies, and we never really got to see Bruce in those movies like train the way this Hulk does. And I really like that. I think that was something that I wish we got way more of when, we moved to Avengers and Hulk later down the line. I wish we got way more of that. You know what I mean? So it would be cool if that, really happened and stuff like that. But anyways, Bruce defending a girl, because basically this girl, I'm just gonna mention it really quick, and I thought it was kind of cool. This girl was kind of getting forcefully, put in a situation where, hey, you want to go on a date with me? Because you guys know, like, that scenario where the girl's trying to leave and try to get the fuck on out of there, and she's only there for a specific other dude, but there's other dudes interested in her, so he goes up to her, tries his shot, and is sort of a little creepy about it. And I just like how Bruce, like, without, like, violence, Bruce handled that situation, showing us that he, even in those situations, is very in control. Because, as you guys know, there's a lot of people in today's world that, like, have little to no self-control. Like, and I'm an example of that. I mean, I have some self-control, but at the same time, I'm talking, like, just in real life scenarios, right? Because a lot of people's heart races, and they're so in the moment, like that moment freaks them out, or that moment makes them a little tense. And it's like, for someone like Bruce, did you watch the movie for the first time? No, I have. This is like my third, fourth, or fifth time watching it. It's just that, like, I'm just reviewing it for the first time, and reason why is because me and Nick, my buddy, my homie, my brother from another mother, are deciding to watch like every cinematic Marvel movie that takes place, timeline-wise in order. So, because Disney Plus has a whole section of that, and we're like, you know what, let's do that. Let's just watch every one of these movies. Why not? But, a lot of people, like, lack self-control, like, these days in terms of getting themselves in those situations. And, if I was in the situation, Bruce did, and I saw that, and I realized that, I probably would have tried to step in. I'm not sure if I would step in, since I have like a thing of, I don't fear people. Well, I do fear people in a way. I just don't like getting into, I'm kind of like asocial, or I think it's either not really social or something like that. So like whenever I see people, I always stir the other way or something like that, but because I don't want to get in their way, and I know they don't really think like that, but I immediately think like that, and it's just a whole thing with me. But you get my point. It's just that's really cool. I like how Bruce was able to do that. Later on, like, basically, I didn't really write a lot of this down, but basically, like, the army did end up finding Bruce. I don't remember the city that they were in, but they ended up finding him through some method, and they tracked his location, and, Hulk's dog, aka Banner's dog, was trying to bark. Basically, Bart got Bruce up, already ready to run out of there and dip. And I remember while he was running and stuff, and while the people were searching Banner's actual home in that area, the dog was still barking at them, and the main dude, aka Abomination, before Abomination, decided to turn around and shoot the damn dog. I was sitting there like, what was the dog doing wrong other than barking at you, bruh? He wasn't even going up to bite you. He wasn't going up to do none of that, and yet you still choose to shoot him. What a dick. And I go in this at number 5, actually. U.S. soldiers chasing Banner down was fucking scary, dude. Because I can't imagine having, like, the entire United States, or a good chunk of them, having teams specifically to chase you. And by the way, these chase scenes that Hulk gets himself through, I wish we got way more of. And, to be real, like, in just Hulk in general. Because, like, think about it. They found him by Stan Lee, by dying drinking from a contaminated, by Bruce's blood, and then they tracked the bottle's manufacturer location. Yeah, that's right, they did do that, and that's how they got to him. I know I'm not going to be skipping through, because this isn't going to be like a over 2-hour review. I didn't want to get like every little freaking thing down. And my mom told me, for me doing good in school and beating Super 64 70 stars, she might try to convince my dad to get me the DS version, 3DS, since it has a joystick of the D-pad. Okay, I'm going to tell you this before you even make that purchase. Super Mario 64 DS is a great game, but I want to let you know this ahead of time. On the 3DS little circle pad, it does not matter DS or 3DS when you play that game. You will not be able to have the same 360 control like you did in the original 64 video game. You will not have the same control because since DS was built, Nintendo Super Mario 64 DS was built off the DS version with the 4 buttons. Basically, they restrict you to only those 4 directions you can move around in, and trying to do the in-between controls is a little weird and a little flimsy unless you do the touchscreen controls with the little DS stylus and you move the character around that way and you press A to do the jumps and shit that way or something like that. So I just wanted to let you know ahead of time before you even decided to buy it or whatever. Just want to let you know that. And also, you have to hold the, I think it was either the B or whatever button to run. Not like in the original Super Mario 64 where you just run after like 5 seconds of movement. So keep that in mind too. But there is tons of reason, you know. But at least it'll hit a little closer to home. What do you mean by that? Like, you're going to have to explain what you mean by that. But anyways, other than that, watching Hulk be a menace to the U.S. soldiers in that same shop, in that same location, was freaking deadly, man. Oh my god, seeing the Hulk first come out was so fucking scary. I'm gonna be so real. There are so many videos online that they say, like, this Hulk is the best Hulk, and I can't even lie, I fucking agree. And I'm gonna go on a rant later on, but, you know, I just wanted to say, like, Hulk first, you know, coming in here, destroying the U.S. soldiers by throwing shit, like, basically murking soldiers really quickly, showing that no one fucks with it was so cool. It was badass, but it was also hilarious because how easily outnumbered the soldiers were by just one dude, like, hulking out, dude. It's kind of crazy. 7, Banner going home to attempt to see his girlfriend, a.k.a. Betty, which I am so pissed that, by the way, but also seeing his girl kind of moved on from Banner kind of hurt my feelings, because, like, I remember Nick mentioning, having a joystick-like option still hits a little closer to home for the OG than a D-pad. Yeah. Factual. Got you. Got you what you mean on that now. But, because I remember Nick mentioned, like, yep, I know how that feels, seeing your girl that you really like, or seeing a girl you loved, but then ending up going to being with another man. It's like, fuck, that sucks, man. I remember Nick talking to me about that, and, you know, like, just really, like, just saying, fuck, yeah, fuck all that. Like, it's like, God, that hurts. But I want to mention this because it pisses me off. I dislike the fact that they got rid of Betty. And they kept the colonel, the main dude, the main, you know, army dude for the later movies and shit. But they got rid of Betty and basically that entire Hulk's entire fucking thing. And I want to mention it because it bothers the hell out of me. And I know it's because Universal, like, owns that version of the Hulk or other versions of the Hulk and shit. So that's why they couldn't make any, like, solo movies or shows or whatever without him. But it's like, it's so stupid because you can literally just go over there, ask Disney to buy the Hulk the Hulk IP, the Hulk rights, get that shit over there, make a good / proper movie. Oh wait, you fucking can't, because all you guys made at Marvel Studios was the shittiest She-Hulk show I have ever seen in my fucking life. You made Hulk, Professor Hulk, which was a shitty idea. I'm just saying that now, because Hulk lost literally 90% of his cool points as soon as Banner decided to take control of the Hulk form or whatever. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just, you did so much fucking garbage with getting rid of Betty, just getting rid of so much shit that made Hulk him, dude. I'm sorry, but, like, it pisses me off every fucking time I think about this movie and then comparing it to, like, Avengers and later versions of this guy, because we could have had a hypothetical 2008 Hulk coming in with the Avengers, for fuck's sake, and that would have been fucking badass. But anyways, I digress. I still like the Hulk that we got, but it's like he feels like a completely different Hulk than dude we saw in this movie. But anyways, number 8, Banner and Betty reunited was pretty wholesome, but sad because it doesn't really last all that long. Because if you guys remember, well, it doesn't last until like, oh, it ended up lasting all right, because Betty throughout a lot of the point of the movie, she was like, at least let me drive you there, and it turned to a whole thing where Hulk hulked out again after that first time. And, because of the, basically, Banner running from the U.S. soldiers again until he turned into the Hulk, and shit got real fast. If you guys remember that soldier situation that they had over there, where basically, like, I can't remember, but it was like Abomination and his team, they all captured Hulk, because, they realized he was with Betty, and they're like, oh shit, let's get that man right now. And they got the man. They tried to, like, I think, trap him in a smoke screen thing. And because of that and the stress he couldn't handle anymore, they decided to, the smoke screen. Then, Hulk couldn't handle the stress. So he decided to transform. And after Hulk transformed, dude, I'm talking like he was destroying them fucking tanks. Destroying those Soundwave things. Also protecting Betty from a fucking helicopter crash that happened right in front of them, which was badass as well. And also Hulk, since he really loves Betty, Hulk loves Betty, and also Banner loves Betty for different reasons, of course. Basically, Hulk kind of took Betty away from, his dad, because his dad... Also, I'm sorry, but Abomination trying to stand up to Hulk because he has super soldier serum is hilarious, because it just gives me the idea that literally he kicked him like a little tiny golf ball. Dink. And literally that man splatted up against the tree with so many broken bones it wasn't even fucking funny. I thought it was hilarious, actually, him trying to fight freaking Hulk like that. It was freaking awesome. But, as well as Hulk tried to fight the lightning and thunder, since he's not used to it in this movie. It was kind of funny. Tried to protect Betty from it, and Betty tried to tell him to, like, kind of calm down a little bit. I love that moment in the movie, and then Hulk kind of calmed down. And then Betty and Hulk throughout the rest of the movie, I think, were sticking together until, I think, actually, no, they were sticking together because, they decided to stick together. And I think later in the movie, Hulk and, a.k.a. Banner and Betty, they go find this dude that's able to help him get rid of, the Hulk, to help him get rid of that. And they successfully got rid of it for a bit. And basically, while that was happening, they were in a giant freaking plane helicopter fucking thingy or whatever. And basically, Abomination, after dude got the upgrade later on, because basically before this, he was in a hospital bed, basically all effed up. And then the Colonel, went back 2 days later. He was completely healed up, and he said, I want another dosage. I want a round 3 with that motherfucker Hulk. So basically, he got a fucking giant needle in his spine that made it sound like it broke it, which was insane. But later on, this dude was like, okay, I got a little bit stronger, but I'm going to need to become way stronger to fight the Hulk. So later on, that same science dude that fucked with Hulk and got rid of his gamma basically said, I want that Hulk experiment now. I want to become so strong that no one can fuck with me, right? And basically, the dude that was helping Bruce earlier was like, okay, fine, I'll help, but, because he had a gun to his head, and there was, really nothing he could do. So basically, took that gamma shit, aka Banner's blood, or whatever the fucking shit, and basically became Abomination, and was tearing through the fucking city. I'm talking tearing right through it. Just destroying cars, vehicles, and all that stuff. And while Banner and Betty and, the dad and stuff, the Colonel or whatever, and other dudes were going on a plane taking Banner to a high-level security prison or whatever the fuck they were planning to do with him, basically they see Abomination on screen, and Bruce is like, I am literally the only person who can stop this. I'm surprised Iron Man didn't come in. I'm surprised, keep this in mind, Hulk is after Iron Man 1 and 2. So in the timeline, I know why Captain Marvel didn't come, but I'm surprised Tony didn't get word of this and tried to fly over there to see if he can deal with it. I mean, he probably didn't have a suit for that. That's probably why he didn't fuck with it. But anyways, or plus he just didn't know because he doesn't really watch the news all that much unless it's in his area. Because I know how news stations work. It's mainly the news is in their respective areas that get the said news or whatever the fuck. So while Abomination was causing tons of chaos and whatever, Banner was like, yo, guys, you're going to have to let me go. And Betty was like, hey, yo, wait a minute. What if you can't transform? He's like, I gotta try, because Abomination could destroy that entire city if he really wanted to. It's his playground if I don't go in there as Hulk and beat his ass up. So basically, he falls out the entire plane while those chains are strapped, and he realizes he's not transforming, so he's like, shit. And he falls and hits the ground. Alright, hits the concrete. And as he hits the concrete, Hulk comes out, and basically, after that point, Hulk and Abomination have their entire fight. I wish I could show it, but I am not going to show it. It was an incredible fight. I highly recommend you guys watch The Incredible Hulk versus Abomination because it was so fucking good. It was really good, guys. I'm talking, it was amazing. You got Hulk using I think it was some type of, not like ninjutsu, but it was Bijitsu style fighting techniques, like basically using both those cars as boxing gloves, and it was so cool, because I was like, why doesn't Hulk, if they're not going to use the same actor, at least bring his traits, the 2008 traits, over to the Avengers version of Hulk, because it's like, if you guys are saying this movie is canon to the timeline of the MCU and shit, I wanted to see Hulk use cars as Fist again. I wanted him to, the more angrier he gets, the way stronger he becomes. I wanted that, or the growing, or whatever. I wanted all of that to go to fucking Avengers. But, again, after watching Hulk vs. Abomination in this fight, it's like this version of Hulk does so many things that Avengers Hulk just goes up there and smashes and shit. That's all the fucker does. And he's way smaller, by the way. Avengers Hulk is way smaller than 2008, which is kind of sad, because if you think about it, if you really liked 2008 Hulk for, like, his already giant-ass size, it's really fucking cool, man, in that movie. And then also in the movie for this in 2003 with, I think, or Andre T or something like that, where he has a Hulk that grows, like, bigger and bigger the more pissed off he gets and shit or whatever. I really wish they just, in Avengers, they combined both those versions of Hulk into Avengers Hulk and shit, and Hulk just keeps getting fucking stronger and stronger or whatever. But, I digress. Easily best part of the movie was Hulk vs. Abomination, especially the ending where Hulk was like, where he was like choking out like Abomination. That shit was just straight raw, man. I wish Hulk was this raw, like, again, man. And I know there's already millions of fans, like, every day just sitting here thinking the same thoughts I am, man. Like, where they just keep thinking, why wasn't Hulk this cool, like, ever again, like, in the movies? Just tell me why, and fuck, man. Like, I know, I get it, it's Avengers, so of course they couldn't just focus all of it on Hulk, but I'm like, She-Hulk was the perfect opportunity to give us the real Hulk again, but since they already did Professor Hulk in that period of time, they couldn't do it. Anyways, Banner decided to run away and go, practice control, like, at the later half of the movie, after he fucking wall jumped off the walls and shit, like, from the police again, because the police were chasing him again. For some reason, they still want to chase him, even though I get it, they want his powers, but it's like, dude, fuck off, dude. I just saved the world, and now you're chasing me down again, which was cool after seeing him go from building to building, like, doosh, 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 trying to get away and shit and whatever. And then later on, we get, like, Banner, going back to how he was by himself, like, in this weird shed, just learning how to control his powers again. I thought that was really cool. Like, he's going back to learning how to control it, and they show the days without an incident, over 30 to a year plus. It was really cool. But other than that, I thought this movie was amazing. I loved The Incredible Hulk 2008. I might just sit and watch this one again on my own time because I really enjoyed the love interest between Banner and Betty a lot because before I watched this movie again, I completely forgot about this movie and I only watched like the Marvel Studios ones and I was like, wait, Hulk had a love interest. Hulk had wait. Banner was trying to control himself, like actually try and not just, be in the same room and fucking get stressed out or whatever, and all that other sort of shit. And in turn, it's like, wait a minute. He learned how to control it to this extent in the previous movie that we see for him, his own dedicated movie, and we see none of that in Avengers. We don't see a call from Betty. We don't get a mention of Betty. We don't get a peep from her, basically. And I get it, because if you guys remember in 2008, like, Banner had to completely become his own man, and I get it. I guess they were just continuing off of that and trying to do it in a different way, but I would have loved a reference or a little nod to Betty or other Incredible Hulk characters from the 2008 movie, like, show up in some way, to do something in some way, shape, or form. It's just sad that we don't get that, and I get it. The reality is Hulk was owned by Universal, so that's why they couldn't do much with the character. I get it. But other than that, all that semantics, all that other bullshit, and me crying, this movie was great for just what it was. It's one-off movie. I thought it was amazing. Yeah. Mention that you said you missed the love interest in Avengers. Yeah, I last night I was like, man, I miss Betty. Man, I wonder what Betty's thinking of, like, Banner going to Hulk out mode right now, like, for the Avengers and shit. Does she think that was cool? Or is she still worried about Hulk or some shit? Like, I was just so curious. I was like, I want to know what Betty thinks, bro. I want to... I'm not trying to say, oh, I only love the movie because of Betty. No, I love the movie because of everything else. But I'm just saying, I just miss that, too. I miss Hulk having that, because I feel like in these movies, it's Tony Stark that gets the girls and shit and gets the love interest in the Avengers, Marvel Studios timeline more than any other character in the show. Other than, like, I think it was Captain America that had that, Thor and Iron Man that had that. Banner was just completely left out of that, in all that other sort of stuff. But I digress. Guys, that is my review for The Incredible Hulk. I'm sorry I couldn't show so much footage or too much footage or little footage or whatever, because of the whole copyright or blocked worldwide stuff. I'm just trying not to risk that. And, I gotta do what I gotta do. But anyways, until then, guys, I'll see you guys next time. Like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share the video with your friends. God bless you all. Hope you guys all have a great day. And... yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'll probably be uploading shorts today. I'm not sure if I'll do, like, another stream today at all. But if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. So, just, yay. Ignore that.